hire you in a rock and roll band. No one will hire you in a rock and roll band.
I was the champion of like the movie that everyone, that all the critics put down and said was a fiasco.
You like
Ishtar? I championed Ishtar. No, Ishtar's a funny movie. It's a funny movie, especially comedies.
Yeah.
It's like critics have a thing about like, you know, spending a lot of money on comedies. It seems obscene to them. Well, where the budget kind of went south for the most part was the fact that like Warren Beatty and Dustin Hoffman kind of like had their full freight on the movie.
No one will hire you in a rock and roll band. No one will hire you in a rock and roll band.
So Dustin Hoffman got his high big salary. Warren Beatty got his high big salary and everything that goes with it. It would be like if when they did during the time when they did Ishtar, Tom Hanks was famous, but he wasn't the superstar that he is now.
Right.
All right. So if that had starred Tom Hanks and Peter Scolari, like the two guys from Bosom Buddies, well, then that movie would have cost a lot less and would have been just as funny.
Right.
Those guys were terrific together, and they would have been really good in that role, and the film would have been seen for what it is.
Yeah. I'm a big Elaine May. I think she's one of the greatest screenwriters of all time.
Yeah,
and I think her direction of movies, I'm a big fan of that. Elaine May is a writer, one of the best screenwriters in the history of Hollywood. And she's a writer who does not put her name on her own projects that much. She would but she oftentimes, for a lot of money, would come in and do huge rewrites that she didn't take credit on. Yeah, they can pay well, and she did some of her most standout work that way. She was very protective about what she eventually put her name on.
No one will hire you in a rock and roll band. No one will hire you in a rock and roll band.
I am fanatic. 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 Can I have your autograph?
And particularly in the 80s, you didn't think that way about high school movies because the people in it were your age or older. They were, the cages around my age, so I'm not thinking, oh, that's too young for me. I could have actually played that role. I think we both were kind of Shaggy Dog kind of guys. I'm not saying I was as sexy as him, but we were both kind of Shaggy Dog kind of guys. I was actually, both me and him have actually thought we'd be good brothers in a movie at some point. But yeah, no, we've talked about acting together more than anything else. It just never happened.
Fuck you, scum! Get out of the car! Get out of the car! I'm bad! Get out of the fucking car, shit!
I didn't go to high school. I dropped out of junior high in like 9th grade. So the minute I saw those clicks start was about right when I just said, I'm out of here. So the whole kind of thing of like, Hollywood versus the Valley or white privilege school versus urban blight decay school. I don't know what was going on with that stuff. But Valley Girl was special for this, for a couple different reasons. It was, especially special out here in California because it's a California movie. No, it's not exactly my life because I guess you're right. I'm a couple years past that. In a way that again, Valley Girl wasn't about school. So like this, okay, for example, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, going to school out in California, I went to a black school and I went to a white school. Okay, the white school was exactly like Fast Times at Ridgemont High. So I definitely did respond to that. Now, the thing that's so special about Valley Girl is the music it plays is exactly the KROQ lineup when that KROQ new wave music just broke and it became the station. And Valley Girl had all those songs during the years that they premiered. So it's not a look back. It's not like, okay, let's look back in 1983 and let's come up with the perfect KROQ soundtrack that would be great for that time. No, they used it at that time. Those songs, when you went and saw Valley Girl, those songs were still on the radio. And they kind of do an okay version of it. It seems like a movie version of the song, though. I gotta push back against that. No,
Okay.
that's Moon Zappa who did all that in the song. Her shit was on point, and it sounded like a new language, and it kind of blew everyone's mind. The movie is them trying to talk like that. It's not coming. It doesn't have the same authenticity as Moon Zappa does in her raps in the song. mean, that's just my opinion.
That techno rock you guys listen to is gutless.
So I saw it when it came out and I liked it. I have to say, though, I really liked Nick Cage in it. It didn't hit me what a zeitgeist movie it was then. I don't think I'd quite realized the effect yet of the karaoke music. And well, the moment even wasn't over, but it was still too close to the moment to actually realize what an effect they did. You know, those songs weren't quite as iconic to me as they would become. But then also, when I realized that the movie really was onto something, there was a little $1.50 movie theater that was in the South Bay called the Marina 3. It was in Redondo Beach. So all of a sudden, I'm noticing that Valley Girl, because it's a dollar movie theater. The movies do what they're going to do all over town, and they on their way out of town, they stop at this theater. And so they play there 1 week, maybe 2 weeks. Valley Girl has been playing there for 5 weeks already. And then I just kind of decide to see it again. And so I go and see it again. And the audience is full of young people. It's like Saturday or Sunday. And like I said, I'm 20, so I'm a young person. And we're all laughing. And I'm realizing, oh, they're holding on to Valley Girl because Valley Girl is doing really well.
Well, that sounds good to me.
And people are seeing it for the second time at the Marina 3, and they really love it. And so a lot of kids on dates, a lot of groups of girls, a lot of groups of boys. And that's when I realized, oh, this movie really is talking to the subculture that it's making the movie for. And it ended up playing there 9 weeks because it did good. So it was just people kept going to see it. They would change the other movie it was playing with, but they'd keep Valley Girl. Well, there was not that I was Mr. Date, but I mean, yeah, but there, especially if there's a young people movie like a Valley Girl, you might want to see. Yeah, that would be your Saturday night. You go see that. I don't like it that much. All right, I like it. I like it for the piece of pop cultural real estate that it has.
Fuck off for sure. Totally.
Number 3 is Lost in Translation. It really does. It happened every once in a while, especially when I was lonely in the 80s. It happened every once in a while that I would see a romantic movie that I kind of I fell in love. Almost like I fell in love with the movie, which is what it was about. And I felt that way about Peter Bogdanovich's They All Laughed. And I kind of felt that way about Alan Rudolph's Choose Me. It kind of had a similar vibe to that. But I hadn't felt that way in a long, long time. I had an interesting experience watching it because I was really loving it. So I saw it a bunch of times, but there was an interesting thing. The scene that I never liked in the film for a while, at least when I first saw it, I still don't care for it. It's my least favorite scene. Is the scene when the hooker comes over, and I just thought it was it was too. One, it wasn't that funny, and it was sticky. There was a sticky comedy that didn't fit with the rest of the film. I didn't like it the first time I saw that scene. Anyway, I've seen it a couple times, and I had a black girlfriend at the time that was kind of more of a, she was a tougher chick. And so I was going to take her to see this because I thought it might be I'll be interested. I was interested to see her reaction to it. And so I'm watching the first part, and she doesn't, but actually neither does really. The audience really know exactly what to make of this movie in the first 6 minutes. It's got a weird no tone almost to it. And then that stupid hooker scene happened. And then everybody started laughing. And then from that point on, everyone was laughing. And I'm like, oh, I don't like this scene, but I see why it's in here now. It gives the audience permission to laugh. And once they laughed at something obvious, now they were giggling at stuff that wasn't obvious. And there also is this thing about it. I'll name drop for 2 seconds. I ended up talking to Pedro Almodovar about it, and we were both talking about one of the things that we liked so much about the film is it was so girly.
Absolutely.
It's so, in such a delicious way, in a way that made me realize I hadn't really seen that girly a movie in a long time. And I hadn't seen that girly a movie be so well done. I fell so much in love with Lost in Translation. I fell in love with Sofia Coppola and made her my girlfriend.
If I wasn't gay, I would have too.
And I courted and wooed her, and I did it all in public. It was like out of a Jane Austen novel, because like I couldn't get together. I didn't know her well enough to get together with her on my own, but I kept going to events, and it would be like, oh, like in the Jane Austen, oh, you're going to, oh, she's going to be at the Hirschberg ball, so I will go to the Hirschberg ball, and then they will be at the Bentington this thing or that thing, and I would go to this thing or that thing, and then eventually I landed the deal.
Every once in a while, a movie would pierce through. And it would be like, oh, wow, that was fucking terrific. And you would see how the critics would like have a conniption about it. But like to us, this was the real noise. This was the shit. Near Dark, Catherine Bigelow's vampire movie, Near Dark. That has like the massacre, the fucking massacre scene in the diner, which was like, oh my God, that's like not vampires. That's like the fucking Manson family just walked into this bar and just massacred everybody.
Bill Paxton was great in that movie.
Just
that was
fantastic.
A great movie.
It was a great movie. Now, no scene was quite as good as the massacre scene, but it didn't have to be.
Right.
That massacre scene was great enough for. I saw that film 5 times just for that scene.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people aren't even aware of that movie anymore, right?
Yeah, so it would be interesting to come from like this horrible decade and to pick out like the 15 movies that for us that's what we're living for.
Yeah.
But it didn't seem like a real movie. It seemed like a crazy Quentin movie. Oh, Catherine Bigelow. Absolutely, positively.
Awesome.
She was its biggest fan.
Wow.
She went nuts for Reservoir Dogs, a Telluride, and I'd always been a fan of hers.
Yeah.
So you hooked me up with her.
Yeah, because I was following around Telluride that whole time, asking like Near Dark.
Oh, Near Dark, Near Dark.
Don't ask me about that movie.
Oh no, that's all I had. That's what I talked to her about. Near Dark. All right.
For her to say that, it's awesome.
She wanted to put John Travolta in Strange Days after seeing that movie. She screened it for Jim Cameron, and apparently, like when she did the screening, she goes, "Guys, you're in for a treat. I mean, you don't even know what you're gonna see. You don't even know what you're gonna see, but I know what you're gonna see, and I can't wait to watch it with you guys." Now, nobody else was saying that, right? After my little director screening with my friend.
Hurt Locker. I've seen Hurt Locker. I remember when we talk about something like that, there's one screening in the last 20 years that really kind of makes me think about that. Was I saw whatever the evening show was, 7:30 or 8 o'clock or 8:30, whatever the deal was. I saw the Friday evening show at the Chinese Theater of The Matrix on the Friday that it opened. Not the Saturday, not the Sunday, the Friday.
You could go to the Chinese in 1999 and not get mobbed?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You can get mobbed. Somebody might ask you for an autograph and everything, and they make a little bit of fuss of you, but then they're there to see the movie, so they all calm down. So I remember the place was jam-packed. It was jam-packed, and there was a real electricity in the air. It was really, really exciting. And part of the reason we were there wasn't because we read reviews. It was because the TV spots, and it was even more the TV spots than the theatrical trailer. The TV spots really kind of turned the audience on. It made us all want to see that movie this opening weekend. So it was the TV spots that really kind of put all those asses into those seats on Friday. And there was that certain electricity that was in the air that was going on. We were all waiting for it to start. But then this thought hit me that was really kind of profound. And that was, it's easy to talk about the Matrix now because we know the secret of the Matrix. But they didn't tell you any of that in any of the promotions, in any of the big movie trailer or any of the TV spots. So we were excited about this movie, but we really didn't know what we were going to see. We didn't really know what to expect. We did not know the mythology at all. I mean, at all. We had to discover that. And so there was this moment of me realizing how excited everybody was for what was going to happen, but we really didn't know anything. And I was like, God, can you imagine the idea of turning an audience on so much that they're there, loaded for bear, full of piss and vinegar on the Friday that the movie opens, but we don't really know what we're excited about. We don't really know what's going to happen. And then that movie happens. It was it was a profound experience. And I had enough foresight to put the thoughts together before the lights went down. Well, I definitely do like giving people that. Literally just sitting in the theater, just knowing that this audience, as jazzed as they are, have no idea what to expect.
What I thought I would do as far as this introduction was concerned is to actually do something I've just done recently, and that is name my favorite 20 movies that have come out in the last 17 years, basically from 1992 to the present. And what's special about that number is these are the films that I admire the most that have come out since I have become a director myself. The Matrix. Now, there was a time, actually, that I would have actually considered Matrix actually the official number 2 after Battle Royale. However, I have to say that time was before Matrix 2 and 3 came out and actually ruined the mythology for me.